How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
I think that's a funny skit. Maybe I'm starting to try to look like that guy. I don't know. So welcome to Hex Futures, and sorry everybody that's been waiting for this Christmas stream. I thought that I set the softwares to where it was pushed back like another 4 hours, but instead some of you were waiting at like 3:30 in the afternoon. I apologize about that. Dolo and Shane have been in the green room. We've been chatting it up. Let me go ahead and light the candle because we're in green candle season. Something that I wanted to mention is that Richard Hart did an audio just yesterday during Christmas Eve. Today is Christmas, and he was very, very optimistic about the year of 2025. He gave praise to direct mail efforts because they cannot be gate kept. We've just got to get more eyes on the product, this solid product that we're all in. The Go Pulse prices are down at the bottom of the screen, scrolling throughout this throughout this live stream. And then the main reason why I wanted to have a live stream on Christmas is so that we could talk about this new project, the reality TV show project. Right now, it is still a little bit, quite a bit malleable. It is not solidified at all. We need as much participation as you could possibly give towards this subject. Come in with your ideas. We don't yet have the crew decided. We don't yet have the cast decided, meaning the all the members that are going to be videoed, and how it is that they're going to interact with each other. I have a lot of ideas that have been placed inside of the Telegram group that we're talking about this at. That's t.me/hex foodies is the Telegram group, and it's the subtopic reality TV. So please look for that subtopic reality TV, and that's where you put your ideas or whatever, and I will incorporate those ideas into a group chat. So please bear with me as we're going to attempt to stay on the subject of this and everything around it, how it relates to our community and crypto at large. We're trying to make this to where it's pulse chain, everybody pulse chain. And even though it's, if you say that I'm the spearhead for this, even though it's Hex OG spearheading it, it's meant to get broader eyes from all the community. And then also maybe we'll have it to where some stars will rise up through this being exposed on this. So let's bring Dolo and Shane up. Welcome.
What's up?
Thanks for chatting with me. Like Dolo and I have been in the background for like 2 hours now, just chatting it up because I don't think we've been on screen together. So learning about each other, talking about delayed gratification, ways of explaining Hex or crypto to people. Let's see. And then Shane, thank you so much for coming on. I connected with you in DMs just now. You probably didn't have any idea that I was interested in doing a stream today. But Shane,
The pleasure's
adore.
Mine. Thank you for.
I adore your creativity. When it is that we met in person over at my physical spot over here on the town square, we had this Hex meetup amongst the Texas people. You proved to me that you could think outside of the box, and I think that even though your work schedule doesn't work out to where you could be a character interacting inside this reality TV show, I think that your understanding of capturing people's attention and spanning it out into all the different social medias can be utilized and would be very valuable to be a part of this crew, part of this team. And as you know, I'm
Yeah.
willing to pay people to be a part of this thing. And then the producer and whoever it is that he selects, those people will probably take a huge portion of the pie. And then the prizes will be another huge portion of the pie. And then the housing and the food and the outfitting the house and the equipment to capture the audio and the video will also be another portion of the pie. So we're basically looking at 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Dolo,
Awesome.
please introduce yourself, because you put in your application to be a part of the cast, to be their boots on the ground, character in the space. You're going to be yourself. Go ahead and talk about yourself, please.
Well,
and then Shane, mute yourself. You're loud.
A lot of people in the community might remember me from some of Wales only streams and just hopping on streams with dang, who's the DJ? I can't remember the DJ's name.
Cryptomatic?
Cryptomatic. Yeah, I sent Cryptomatic some stuff. One of my boys used to make one of my boys makes beats. So I've sent in some stuff to Cryptomatic for his Christmas streams. And yeah, dude, I'm just very well-connected person when it comes to doing things the way I like to do them. You know, I just like to, I observe, very big observer in the community. I like to see what's going on. And I've always been around since almost around the top of the last cycle, right before we even made the top of the last cycle. So I figured out what was going on and how everybody was, you know, picturing that this was going to play out, and understanding who Richard was and delayed gratification and what he was trying to get across to people was something that I liked. Yeah, I got a lot to talk about. You know what I mean? There's a lot about me, but yeah, right now I'm a wrestling coach at a high school, and I've been in Hex since 2021. I've got a couple Cuatro Cincos, and I've staked out in between that and in the time of 2021. So I'm well versed on what's going on.
Awesome. Let's see. So you've got a friend who also has sent an audition tape.
Yeah. I do have a friend that sent in an audition tape. He's been in Hex since I think day 139. So he's kind of understood what's going on, and not kinda, he definitely understood what's going on and seen the way this is played out. Right now, it would be dope to see him do this too, you know, but some people have their own way of seeing things, and you know, maybe, you know, you feel like you want to put yourself out there, and then at a certain point you kind of just want to step back, you know, just to see what actually happens. So yeah. And then I have another friend that's been part of Hex since before Big Payday and before the adoption amplifier, and pretty much since Hex, before Hex was a thing, before you guys even created the color gradient of the logo. So yeah, I'm a searcher. I'm a life searcher. I search for things in life, and certain things do come to fruition, or certain things do happen properly for me that align in the way that I see life should be aligning.
So what is it that gets you interested about reality TV? This opportunity, what is it that captivates you to where I can understand like why, you know, what appeals to folks?
Well,
And do you have more people that are interested in your friend group, or maybe across the nation? Because you shared with me recently you were in Cali, and then now you're back on the East Coast, and so like you're a traveled person.
yeah. Hopefully I can see if there's more people that would be interested in doing this. I know that I do know more people that would work behind the scenes, because they do work behind the scenes a lot in their own things, and they do run their own businesses that have to do with the entertainment industry. Uh, my cousin worked in the entertainment industry for a long time, and that's what really got me into understanding like how things like this could actually become a thing. And I've always wanted to have something to be a part of, to show that like I grasp what he gave to me when I was 17, and I can show that I can create something with the people that I can create with. I went to LA Film for a little bit, so I definitely understand how camera ops work, and DPs and directors, and I understand the way that their minds actually work with these things. Money wise, you definitely need a budget, and you need to have somebody structurally understand how to break down that budget perfectly fine, so that nothing messes up. And then even if something does mess up, you still have money on the side to fix that, or add a day or two to that listing. You feel me? So yeah, dude, it's just a lot of stuff.
Cool. So I'm thinking we'll have one producer and like two film crew underneath them. And then we'll have a person that helps out there in the town. And that person will help out setting up stuff out in the field for these people to have gameplay, and manning those stations as well, and communicating with business owners if that needs to take place, and also communicate with the house owner to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I've limited the time period down to 14 days. So you'll come in, you'll have an awesome diet and an awesome system to work your day, and you'll be given challenges. And then also we need to hire a chef to provide the meal.
Mhm.
So so like I'm pretty sure that there'll be allowance, there'll be prizes, and then there'll be a grand prize. So that's all financial stuff, but the thing that I was talking about just a while ago is the people involved. And then I plan on paying the producer a bit more to keep him around and have it to where he actually makes the product after everything is filmed. So right now we haven't purchased any equipment, but the idea is for us to buy equipment to do things live as it happens, and people can interact with folks that are live in this whole thing. And then it ends on like early March, and then from early March through April, I suppose, the producer will be putting the thing together, and then maybe we can have our release in the summer. That's what I'm hoping as a person who knows nothing about this stuff. And so I heavily have to rely on the producer and directors below them. And I'm hoping that Left House will be interested in this project, or would point me in the right direction. Shane is here to give me a perspective of like, what is Left House thinking. I invited Left House here this evening, and then Shane's internet's going in and out. But I'd like to hear from Shane on that, unless well, Dolo, do you have any perspectives on what I just said?
Yeah. So pretty much, like, I've been on sets before. I've done background work. I've been casted for little things just to be in background work. Other than that, I've done like AC work. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember, but like I helped with Joji's Spotify Rise. I helped, set up stuff and break down stuff. Set up the tank that it looked like he fell into, but he actually stood behind, and like, yeah, there's a lot of lighting and stuff that I've understood through doing that. So yeah, just been trying to it's just getting everybody together and getting the right people to want to work on this thing is definitely one of those things to figure out. Just committed people, at this point, because like usually, like out west, when I was doing that type of stuff, it was automatic. Everybody was just given those things automatically. Like, oh, you're here. I got a DP, I got a DP2, DP1, blah blah. I got the director. Everybody's there, because those people are there looking for that job, to do that job. They're just looking for a job to have on top of that set that they hear about. When it comes to chefs and having catering and stuff like that, it's in town, something close, something where it's not too crazy, and they're not gonna overcut you, what I mean? Overcut you on the pay, and then underpay you on what they're actually delivering to you and your crew on set.
I got a question.
Do your thing.
Were you able to hear everything?
Do you think
that
a chef would
earlier?
be more or less?
More or less what?
More. I had a question. A chef seems like a big undertaking. Would that be more or less expensive than just getting Uber Eats?
I'm basically proposing catering.
I know.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're doing.
Okay.
To where like this is
okay.
The meal is brought to the house, and it's available.
Okay.
And then I'm actually thinking that we could have it to where this caterer only visits once a day. And so everything is dropped off just that one time, and then maybe they stay around and they clean up. Okay. So yeah. I've got some ideas. It's just like, how far do I take my role in being a decision maker? How much do I do that? Like, how many ideas have already come in for me to make a decision? And then when is the point going to come whenever I don't have any more decisions to make, and it's somebody else's chance to make decisions and make the whole damn thing happen? So at some point, I need a leader to take this out of my hands, and all I do is put the funds aside, and I point to those funds and I say, okay, reach goal number 1, the funds are released. Reach goal number 2, the funds are released. And then whenever the participants show up on the scene, then the funds are released into their wallets for the allowance that they're getting. And, just the continued communication happens. I'll continue to lubricate the system with money, as long as everybody follows through with what they're asked to do. And then we might be able to have it to where there's about $10,000 worth of prizes in this whole thing, and maybe even more than that. If the market goes up, it'll definitely be more than that. But Shane, we need you on the screen to answer, or like make it to where we can't see you, but still audio interact.
Yeah, just keep the audio on. Because that's what I did earlier when I had my computer troubles. I was just on my phone. I just had my phone do it and just have it as an audio thing.
Yeah, he keeps dropping and then coming back into the green room. So Shane,
sorry about that, guys. You'll have to
let's
excuse
pick
my
your brain.
Lack of internet connection. Yes. First off, I want to say I might just say fuck that job. Like I've been fantasizing about something like this for so long, and then at the same weekend, both of the opportunities arise, and I'm like, oh my god, of course. So then for the last like 2 weeks, I've been going for my walk in the forest, thinking about my life. And what does it come down to? Chasing the things and doing the things you want to do, or doing the things that you're supposed to do. So I might have to make an executive decision just to go, full brother. And
but
go this route.
I must insert here that I could I don't know how to say it, but like it's like to have you in the background would please me very much.
Okay.
And it's not because of like the character that you would be on the screen. It's that your work situation right now makes you available to be a person behind the scenes and to be a part of the planners, the making decisions, the creativity. And you're also my connection to Left House. And if as we get this thing further ironed out, it's not going to concern me that you want to be a part of the show. I just think that there's so many, if this is successful, there's going to be so many further opportunities for you in this. And if you're a part of the background planning of it, yeah, okay, you might not be the name that people recognize, but you're the person that we recognize.
Okay. Well, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to give it my all. And as far as Left House goes, I haven't talked to him so much. He's been busy with family, but I think we all need to get together and talk, because I think it has evolved much further since the last time we've spoken, and I think he's going to be a lot more interested and motivated to help us out with this in the future. He's doing a lot of things in the background too, so he's had his hands kind of tied lately, but we'll have to schedule something. I think he may even drop in tonight, maybe not. I think he's a little busy himself, but I'm absolutely willing to work in the background and do all those things as well, and hopefully if this is successful, there will be another season. So
thanks.
So where I'm at right now is this the naming of the thing. Like what do we name it? What URL do we grab off the internet and start populating a website as a one-stop shop? What sort of like feel are we giving it with this name and then the beats behind it? What needs to happen next, I think, is a teaser video. Take some of the audition tapes, cut those up and mix in a beat, mix in some of the graphics of what it is that I've described that I think we're going to do. And just have it to where we're able to get more people interested in okay, what's going on, this reality TV show that's for crypto. Anybody in crypto is welcome to join. $10,000 in prizes, possibly, I think that's the next step. So I don't know if you guys know what I'm trying to describe, and everybody that's over here in chat, and maybe the people over on Twitter is like, in the planning of this thing, where is it that I say we've planned enough, it's time to pull the triggers? Because I've done that on the dates. Like let's start preparing for the 22nd of February. Sorry that it overlaps some of the things that other people are doing, like the Pulse Chain Tour and Matty Allen's 369 stuff that he does every year.
Yeah, I like, bro, I'm willing to cut into coaching a season. You feel me? To do this. Yeah. You feel me? So like,
and also it's 2 weeks to where like that's an amount that somebody should be able to ask off from their employment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're friends with your job, your boss, then maybe you could actually pull this off with no problem at all. So the reason why I started this conversation out was because of the community influencing me and saying like, you know, it might be time that this actually comes around. But there's a lot of people that said that they would volunteer, that they would help out, like have conversations with me in the background, and we could continue to edit the idea. There's a few people that said, hey, I'm interested. In fact, there were like 22 or 24 people who said like, yes, I would submit an audition tape. And we've got a few of those that followed through. And then there are talented Hexicans inside of our community who want to exercise their capabilities. So this, of course, gives the opportunity to people who want to get in front of the screen and make a name for themselves and do something, branch out of crypto communities and branch into all sorts of other things. But then also there are people who want to work behind the scenes, who have talent, who, like, the first time I ever saw what Left House did, he's a very talented guy. He understands what he's doing. The first time I ever met him was that Shane down here, he got Left House to meet at one of my meetups that was organized on top of a bridge in Austin, Texas. So we were over the top of an interstate. As the traffic was slow down below, we were waving to them, showing them Hex flags and signs saying, we're Hexicans, look up what Hex is on the internet. And there were people that were flicking us off, but there were also people who were blowing us kisses. And they were opening up their sunroofs and allowing their kids to climb through the sunroof and say hello to us from above, you know? So it was a pretty cool interaction. And I asked Left House to take a certain perspective with a camera. And I was just like, you know, just please capture this and I'll get it from you later. Well, he ends up making an entire video of it and posting it himself to Twitter. 1, that takes balls. 2, that takes vision. 3, he heard my vision and made my vision even better. You know, like I asked him to take a certain shot and he captured it perfectly and then stylized it. So I was really impressed, blown away. So that's where I stand with him.
He's a legitimate filmmaker too, by the way. If anyone doesn't know who Mr. Left House is on Twitter at Mr. Left House something, he's had films and he has like The Rabbit Hole, which is a crypto related movie. So if you ever want to watch Rabbit Hole, it's amazing. It's on YouTube for free, and I think you can use it. Yeah, that's the only link I know of off the top of my head. But yeah, so yeah, and I met him through being on Worst Damn Crypto Show, you know, and everything just slowly tied in together. But yeah, Left House is one of my best friends now.
Fast Abdul says he wants to apply for Shane's direct supervisor. That is hilarious. We got Jay Soul in the chat. Glenn's in the chat. Hexican Lost in Asia. Mr. Big Pipes. I have a feeling who you are, but I don't exactly know. But keep selling those big pipes. So we've also got Luigi in the chat. Hey man, please come on. The description holds a link for you to join our
Mangione
StreamYard. Mangione, yeah.
Yeah. Free that man.
And in the early hours, Cole came through. I'm sorry, Cole, I didn't catch you. Health Hacker and Crypto Truth. And then we've got Crypto King as well. Welcome. So we're just trying to chat it up on like, okay, let's feel out some things. If at the very least allow me to have a better understanding of what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, Mischief, welcome. Oh, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
It was Lost in Asia.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Hey, Eco, I'd like to ask you a question. What is the vision that you have for the show? If you were to describe the show to me, what do you see right now? Do you, and I guess by that, do you see like a way to explain it would be Survivor meets Discord or a Reddit?
Yeah,
or
and that's
4J,
how.
you know what I mean?
I was trying to figure that out too. Like, is it more like, because I know you said less physical activity, but more of a like an outreach thing.
All right, we got Daraj here as well. Let me
I haven't seen Daraj since what's his name streams. That's that damn. What's up, Daraj?
Okay, so Daraj is one of my admins over in this Hex Foodies Hex Guild chat.
Sick.
And he's often also running the Hex Asians every
because he's out in India, right? That's Daraj out in India, right?
Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah. Because he was
Indian over in Philippines.
I remember that.
He's the golden mic guy.
He be singing on his mic. Yeah.
So let's see. So the one-stop shop for the ideas that I've already generated and put into wording or into video is over there in the Telegram group, t.me/hexfoodies, and then search for the reality TV tab. Let me explain something that I recorded video and I either posted on Twitter or in that chat. I think that okay, this is the idea that I created, right? To where like this is completely adaptable, modifiable, could be completely thrown in the trash. Okay. So this is the schedule that I came up with. You wake up early in the morning. Then after you wake up early in the morning, you have your shower, and then you have a shower moment afterwards. And that's called the diary time. So you explain to the camera what it is that you're thinking for the day. And as the days progress, that'll become more complex. You'll start reflecting on people that you've had problems with or things that are on your mind for that day. Then, let's see. Then after that, I think you watch a Richard Hart video that is a self-help thing out of SciVive. That certain topic will come back up later on in challenges in order to do tiebreakers. In case you tie break even with somebody, you need to recall the lessons that Richard had in his self-help stuff. And so like these self-help videos he did early on in his YouTube channel. So they're all publicly available right now. And I'm going through them and trying to see, okay, which ones need to be highlighted and what are their titles and what are they actually delivering? And should we chop them up? Because some of them are like 15 minutes long. Is that too long for this morning meditation situation of the value provided? So then during that time, then you eat breakfast. And the breakfast caterer is there for like 3 hours, making sure everybody has breakfast and everybody's fed, but also they pack their bags, because the rest of the time period, you're going to go out into the landscape by walking, and you're going to attempt to make a transaction on Pulse Chain, not any other cryptocurrency, a Pulse Chain transaction of some sort with somebody who has something to offer out in the landscape. So a resident or a commercial entity. Once it is that you have made a transaction of some sort, and of course that's verifiable, and you're having to say, like, you know, I made a transaction with this person that I met recently, like locally within that day or days before while you're still playing the game, right? Instead of your buddy going and doing it from afar, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's cheating. And once you have that done, you earned your day credit. So everything that you do that day is a go. So then you can start searching for the faucet tent that's out there in the landscape somewhere. There's a tent that was set up, and it's only going to be set up for like 7 hours total. And so it's like a midday situation. If you find this tent, then you get to go inside the tent. And as long as you're inside the tent, you have faucet dripping into your Pulse Chain wallet, which is the wallet that you're making the transactions from. So your purchasing power continues to grow. You know, the amount of time that you spent in that. You could just make better badass transactions out in the field. Tell people that, hey, I'll teach you crypto for $100 or $20 right now. And then you could make the better end of the deal. But then there's also gifts that are laying out in the landscape as well. Just like that tent sits alone, we'll have it to where there are boxes with QR codes on them that sit alone. And so maybe you come up across one of these boxes, you QR scan it to get into the box, and you open up a wallet, and then you transfer the contents from that wallet over to your wallet. So it becomes a part of your prize for that day, as long as you made that transaction. Or I'm sorry, not as long as you made that transaction. I think that as long as you make your transaction per day, then you're still in line to acquire the grand prize at the end. So I think that that's the situation where the tiebreaker is going to become relevant, because what if everybody gets really good about interacting with people local environment and has these transactions no problem? Now, to limit the tent that has the faucet, to limit that, my idea is that it only spits out so much, to where, like, if another participant joins you in the faucet, y'all are now splitting the available funds that flow out of the faucet. Let's have it to where maybe somebody local is able to be invited into the tent. So now, like, I've got myself going into the faucet. I invited somebody from the day before. They joined me in the faucet. Now, what I'm earning is mirrored into them, and then they start getting interested in crypto because they start learning. You know, maybe they start being interested in joining you at the faucet, so they wait for you at the faucet every day. They wait for you to come around. But the faucet changes locations every day also. You have to find its new location. So it's not always dependable that you're going to be able to find the faucet and find all the prizes every day and make the transaction with people. But you could set up the transactions to where like you made friends with the neighbors and they want to participate. And then the next neighbor has set it up with the next neighbor. And then so like maybe you just stayed in the neighborhood instead of having to go to the commercial areas. But there's also the sabotage factor. I could go over to the neighbor and offer them a better deal than you're offering them. You're Dolo, you're muted.
Yeah, then my offer. Yeah.
So I could go up to a commercial situation and talk shit about you while you're not there. While you're over at the faucet, I could destroy your next day's plan. I could go up to every one of these residences and destroy it for everybody by acting a clown on their front door. You know? And then to top all of these ideas off, there's an idea of putting y'all inside costumes, to having it to where like you look like mascot.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that, Shane, mute yourself, will you? The cool thing about putting you in costumes is that you get over this fear of being judged by somebody else while you're trying to tell them about crypto. You get down straight to the facts of what it is that you want to convey to them so that you can have them learn. So 14 days of that, and whoever is able to come out on top with all of your days marked, and then the tiebreaker challenge if there is one. So you'll keep the Richard Heart lessons in your mind
while you're doing it.
Yeah. And then we'll have like a curfew on the house to where like it's really about self-help. It's about eating right, resting correctly, and then exercising the best that you can while you're out in the field.
Get your 6 to 8 or get your 6, because then if you're in by 9, you're done and you're in by 9, because right now it still gets, if we're going to do it around February, it still gets dark around 5. By 9 you're done. You're in the crib, and then you're out. You sleep and out by like 10:30, maybe even 11. If you're one of those people that will push it a little bit with the self-help on, like maybe like you're just thinking of your next day until 11. You know what I mean? How you're gonna plan out that day, because after that first day, you're gonna be like, all right, how would I do this better that second day?
But we could make it to where the curfew hour is so much earlier, to where you're coming from a daylight situation and you're going into the darkness situation. Mm-hmm. So we could black out the interior of the thing, divide it into spaces to where you have your little place. And by the way, here's your earplugs so that you don't hear the person in the next room or beyond the drape from you. Mm-hmm. Everybody's safe and sound. Like we won't have it to, like, the idea is that we have everybody divided and we tell them to take turns going to the bathroom, but no fooling around in the house, no drugs in the house, that sort of thing. And we've got a camera on you the whole time, and it's a night vision camera. So my idea is to have it to where these people are going through sensory deprivation, to where their sensory is just completely cut off for the time period that they're inside of the house. Whenever it is that they wake up, then the first exposure they have to the outside world is the Richard Heart lesson,
that next thing.
The lesson of the day then becomes so much more instilled in the features of what it is that you're exposed to every day. And then you're released into the backyard for the back patio, where the caterer is, and sets up everything out there because of the lack of space, but also to make it to where the caterer can come and go. Mm-hmm. And then we can all escape off the back porch, bleeding from the backyard, in whichever direction you choose to go, over the back fence or through the gate. Like you might choose to distance yourself and hide your secrets. I don't know. You might choose not to bring something home.
I'm already planning right now. Like I already got I have a day set up. I got the first day already set up, and like depending on where we are in location wise, and how, like, bro, I already got my plan now. Just because now hearing it from you versus reading it in the Telegram, like, bro, I already got my days. Yeah. And then I got day 2 already set up. If they, like, if day one doesn't pan out the way I want it to pan out, I have that next thing in day one still set up. You know what I mean? Or I can drag that out to day two or day three just off of what I personally do as naturally. You know what I mean? What I would naturally do. Like it would be dope if I could bring my board. Like I'm one of those people. I bring my skateboard with me everywhere. So then
I
yeah.
so I'm struggling with like I think that it would be good if we made it to where we restrict people to walking only. That way there's a pace to it and a locality, a vicinity to it that our director and our producer are able to keep tabs on. And then also like how far is the tent going to be? How far are the prizes going to be? So like if we have it to where the producer and all of the directors below him have cars, then they can catch up to people. And you know, they can immediately, whenever they show up on the scene, they can put the camera in the face of the people that you're interacting with. So I do need to figure out like, okay, this
how we're gonna get those people to want to be okay with being on the camera and stuff like that.
I do need to figure out if
one big thing.
But then if it's a
business, if it's a business that you're going to, you're like, all right, so like me as the character could be like, all right, so obviously you see me dressed up like a clown right now in whatever suit that I'm in, but like this is going to give your business exposure, and would you be down to be part of this? And then I can be like, all right, yo, I'm at this location with the director. I could be like, hey, yo, I'm over here, blah blah blah, would you be down? You know what I mean? Like, well, like they're down, so come meet me over here, and then we'll just do it all naturally.
Speaking of come meeting me, I just want to shout out to Gina, the prettiest lady in the chat right now, for the best idea of the night. We love you, darling.
Damn, Gina
is savage. It'd be nice to have one, you know, have that in the half pipe, have a half pipe in the kitchen, you know what I
mean? So yeah, you get exposure, and then for a business, you know, extra exposure, but like people, they guard their communities, they guard their business and their streets and their neighborhoods. So if you have like 8 people participating in this, and they're all like walking in costumes throughout your city, and it's kind of like starts in a certain area, then it's going to happen like multiple days in a row. So by like day 3 that this happens, people are going to start saying like, oh, well, there's those people again. I wonder what they're doing. And once it is explained to you, then it's going to catch, it's going to catch like wildfire. People are going to talk about it quite a bit. And, you know, there's going to be those brave souls that are honking at you by day 5 and, you know, pulling over their car, or you're going to catch them at a red light and you're going to be able to talk to them. Like maybe somebody's going to be sitting there with a sign at a fucking, at a light stop, right? A 4-way light stop. And they'll be talking about crypto instead of asking for money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
I got a question, Eco. This idea you have, do you picture it being more along the lines of like completely serious like network stuff, or absolutely hilarious internet stuff?
I think it'd be a mix of both at a certain point, because just like he said, well, I don't want to take the
we're all brainstorming here. Everything we talked about could be thrown in the trash.
So I mean, all the ideas are great, but like what's the icing on the cake? Maybe make it so that we have to wear either monk suits or Shakespeare costumes as we go out into public or something, or just, since we're a cult, make it kind of culty, like a 1950s, like wear ties and stuff. But
I kind of want it to be a roulette wheel before we even start. and you come with the costume, or you come and assume the costume that you know that you're going to have. And like this, like the Luigi character, he may not like that as much, and Shane over here may not like that as much, because then they have to take on a new character somewhat, right?
I mean,
but
I'd wear my tracksuits, and
well,
Luigi would have to wear
underneath
Luigi.
But that's the thing, is like we're talking about what are the costumes, and what are we trying to gain out of it? And so like having a roulette wheel in the beginning where like I could have to wear a Raggedy Ann while this other guy wears a bear, and it's like, well, you got the better end of the deal with that bear thing.
With the bear, yeah, exactly.
But Raggedy Ann, at least I get my face shown, while you know the bear, they have to communicate only with signals.
Yeah, another idea could be as easy as get a whole bunch of fabric and a whole bunch of different colors, drop them off on the floor with scissors and glitter. No, not glitter. That'd be a mess. And say we have to make our uniforms today, and spray paint or something.
That sounds so awesome, but I know people would fail to do it.
Oh yeah,
I know there would be people who would really screw up something.
Just cut a whole blanket. Just cut a hole on a blanket, wear it around like a cape, and then spray paint hex on you or something. I mean, it's good. You know what I mean? Like let's try to think of these every segment.
The monk vibe sounds so lit, because it's like, yo, like it is kind of culty, bro. It is kind of culty, and it's like
it would make it easy.
In with your
there's probably cheap Halloween costumes that are the monk. I used to.
I was a monk a couple years ago and this year, and you just walk in like this.
Yeah,
like the Sith Lord or something, and you're like, hey, you ever hear about Hex?
But if one of the tasks were to go around at night around the city and try to onboard as many people in monk suits or something, and it'd be like, no, we're in a cult, but it's a crypto cult. I don't know. Or try to get as many. I don't know. Try to onboard as many people in a funny outfit.
Mm-hmm.
My fortune cookie says August will bring you financial success. Bitch, August just came.
Yeah,
I gotta wait a whole another August.
Right.
It was just August.
Hey, but then at the same time, dropping this around that time would be wild. You know what I mean? It would be very wild to drop this around that time, and that would actually, it could be possible.
Yeah. The one example of a show of recent today's time I sent to EcoBuilder was Fish Tank. Have you heard of it or seen it?
Nah.
So Sam Hyde, who is this guy, I don't know his whole story, but he has a show where there's a whole bunch of people living in a house 24/7, and he makes them do tasks, but it's just like airsoft fatty, in TikTok people that went viral, and a bunch of weirdos all in a room together, and it's complete and utter chaos. But they still do things and tasks. So I feel like the tasks that we're going to have to do, we're going to have to think when we make these, we produce these, we're going to want as many situations easy to clip farm.
Yep.
Like everything we do, we're going to try to cause a scene. And my idea, exactly. Like maybe someone's yelling at somebody or something, you know what I mean? As over the top as possible, but with like the cult side trying to rein us in, like a whole bunch of crazy internet people trying to learn the ways of my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's why I was asking, because it could go, if you go too serious, there's not going to be any no one wants to watch Survivor.
Nobody wants to watch some shit like that.
Yeah. Nobody, Survival isn't going viral in 2024. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not fact.
Not even if you're naked, nobody cares.
Yeah,
but if you're doing that in the street, throwing jelly at each other or peanut butter, that might.
I feel you. I feel you, Shane. I feel you.
Yeah.
So it definitely would make so much sense.
Yeah, I was just mentioning him, like
this fucking guy.
I was just mentioning to Dolo, whenever we think of these, think of segments, I think it'd be wise to think of them in a way that when they're made, we can film it and try to clip farm every second of it. Like everything that we're doing could as eventful as possible, as chaotic to a degree, because we're bringing crazy internet people in and to the world of the survivalist world of my brother. So the complete chaos, hilarity mixed with like seriousness thrown together, and with a half pipe in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think we just have enough rest time to where that's the serious time, the rest time. And then once you release out of the backyard, then you are a chicken that has just been freed from a cage, and you go whatever actions it is, however it is that you think you're going to pull this off, go for it. And then mine the prizes. You know, you want to keep where you think the tent is, you want to keep that a secret. Like, what if you ran across where the tent is on the way to a commercial place, and then like, okay, keep that in mind. That's like, where it is that day.
Like in a homeless tent?
Oh, you weren't listening? So,
well, I was, but like I pictured like on the property, but depending on where it is.
Nah, so, like you can even do it at, like you can even the faucet thing. You can even do it at like over where I'm at. They got veterans parks. You know what I mean? A veterans park is just like an open park to everybody that's just in the community. Okay. Everybody can go to. You know what I mean? It has a fountain. As you know, it's some like a water. There's like a little mini lake, man-made lake, and there's a fountain in the middle of it. You know what I mean? And they got their little. They got their municipal building right there or something, you know.
Or as taking up one parking space in a business park that you've gotten permission to do this in. So that's why we need this coordinator that's either the person who owns the house and person who's looking after people, or you know, another hired person that's a part of the directing crew to set up this tent and make sure that communications amongst the local community. And then so like Shane, my idea fits inside of a suburban home. So the house has a fence, it has a neighborhood, and then you're released from that to walk around the community. And so you're based on your access, you walking makes it to where that's the vicinity of the playing ground, really. Rather than like some sort of a city center being the interior of the thing.
Of the thing. And then it's,
so
I know you got
another.
You're gonna be short. Like I don't know.
Another idea is like, okay, do we allow somebody to purchase a bicycle to get around better, or to borrow a scooter from the community, from the city, right? Or to hitchhike? Do we allow those?
If we don't announce it,
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Well, like that's what I was thinking. You're good, Shane.
Maybe let the free market decide.
Yeah,
I don't know, to a degree. Like if you can try to get away with it or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Always so trying to that would make it entertaining at least.
That's why I was saying, like with like the whole like me being like that type of person who always has his board with him. I was just like, you know what? Maybe I could even, because my thought process is like, the first place I'm going to, if we're in a nice little, if we're in like one of those locations, I'm going to a skate shop. And I'm gonna try to make a transaction with them at the skate shop, and because that's the easiest way for me to just break open first. And
that's awesome.
You know what I mean? And I can explain it to them, and then maybe that'll be the first person that does the transaction with me. And then I buy a skateboard that way, and then I use that to get around through the town to go do the other things. And then I play Pokemon Go on my phone. I could find a little hotspot from Pokemon Go, and then there's normally people in those veteran parks that are like that, just at a spot, just taking over the gym, and then I could just spark a conversation with those dudes right there, right then and there, and then move on from you get where I'm going from that?
Yeah.
So
and they're already on their cell phones, so they're already possibly willing to branch into cryptocurrency, and then the people over at the skate shop, they already speak your same language, so you're able to give the same analogies to convince them.
And the same thing is just in case like there's somebody that works with cars, the first place they would want to go to is probably a mechanic shop, maybe not like one that's like people are working right now, or they'll go to like a Firestone or something like that, and just spark a conversation with somebody at Firestone, like, yeah, yo, this and that, used to, then that's the easy,
over time,
where I'm going.
Over time, you'll make allies in the town.
Yep,
and then you'll be able to ask them day after day, like, hey, have you seen where the tent is today? Like when you were on your way to work today, did you see the tent sitting out, here or there? And then, hey, like, if you want to talk about the tent, or if you want to give me the heads up on where the tent is, let's go there together, and you can get just as much as I get.
Yep. And then Shane, what were you gonna say?
I feel like you're picturing towns as like Skyrim, whether it's the same people every day, where like
they are.
It is though.
It is a Jim Carrey's whatever Truman Show.
Truman Show, yeah.
The Truman Show is real life, yo.
Yeah, facts.
So y'all are the only thing that's new to this place.
And then those people obviously will be like, yo, you see the crazy dude in the bear suit? Yeah, yo, he actually came to my shop and gave me crypto. Like, and this is worth this much right now. And then it's like, oh snap, like you all right, where can I find that guy? Hold on. And then maybe people start looking for us.
Yes.
While we're looking for, So yeah.
Now we're starting to set up dates, and then after that, if you're approached, then some people are going to say like, "Oh, don't talk to the guy over there that's in the dolphin suit. Talk to the guy in the bear suit
first." Yeah,
the guy in the bear suit is cooler than the guy in the bull suit. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've been picturing this for like years, and it's a protest of the banks, and it's where we all dress up in monk suits and Shakespeare. And we show up with scrolls and pickets, and we go protest the banks. It might be a good way to get on the news.
Oh, that would be lit.
That might go viral if we protest banks for $1 and say Hex is better than $1.
Yeah.
Show up
and
like,
pull out the scroll. These are all the reasons why.
A bunch of Shakespeare's and monks, dude. What's funnier than that? And scrolls and picket signs.
I think we should figure out like what's the cost effective, because I think the Shakespeare or the monks would be the least expensive costumes that we could get. Now, while we're still talking about costumes, I also had the idea of whatever high school you went to, whatever that mascot is, that's what you're stuck wearing.
Mine's a rebel.
Yours a rabbit?
No, a rebel.
A rebel.
Right. Yeah, like the Southern rebel. Yeah.
All right, here's
I would be an eagle.
Here's the catch, but now if it's the animal, there's a mistake in the ordering, and then they all turn up as that, but furries. Like the furry the furry version of a wolf, the furry version they're all furries. Like
hey, if we don't get a bunch of girls,
there was an accounting mistake.
Yeah, we don't get a bunch of girls.
If we don't get a bunch of girls, we might do some extreme things.
Facts.
So everybody who's watching this, listening to this, watching in our replay, please communicate this idea out to folks. We're wanting people to do submissions right now. We need audition tapes. So it's just a very short video, maybe 60 seconds long, telling us like who you would be in this reality show. Do you want to be yourself, or do you want to assume a character of some sort? Where is it that you're at right now? How old are you, or what do you go by? What's your most interesting stories? Like, blow our mind. This is the audition tapes. Instead of taking it as a fearful situation, look at it as an opportunity to outshine other people who are also right next to you in this selection process. That's
or better yourself and your team.
Yeah, exactly.
Or listen to EcoBuilder and be better than everyone.
Ooh,
No, I'm playing.
Nah, that I like the way.
I'm just trolling EcoBuilder anytime I have the opportunity. I can't. But yeah, like I was thinking, like a lot of these things, we're relying on. We kind of got to go viral, so maybe we got to get like, hey, here's a team. You guys got to create the most viral clip, versus you guys come up with something, and then blah blah blah, and then trying to basically go viral and spread what we're doing on the internet somehow. That could be a game even. You know?
Hey, Mr. Big Pipes, are you laying them big pipes? Are you already auditioned? Have you already put in your application? Please do, sir.
Yeah, tap in. We've
got Mischief. Can I come for an audition? You don't need to. Oh, come on now. Link is in the description. Anybody who wants to join right now, link is in the description.
Yeah, it's not really an audition. You just need to make a video of it so we can spread it and use it for content later. This wouldn't really be an audition, but you can come hang out with us.
Exactly. 60-second audition video posted to Twitter so that I can say, hey, this is audition number 5. This is audition number 6. We've already got 4. I've been chatting with 8 total. And then I've got 2 more that are interested, and one of them's a female. I haven't yet ironed things out with other females that I think have already committed to other things in the community. So I'm kind of overlapping other people's schedules, and I just did that so that we could have something to shoot for. Mm-hmm. But Left House coming into the conversation more will make it to where we'll have so much more solidity. And things are not final on who's going to be working on this thing. So please, everybody, if you've got something to say, something to get out there, please take this opportunity to do it. What is up, Mischief?
Alright, I can't hear.
Hola.
Can I go back out and test my sound again?
Habla español. Habla español.
Sorry.
He'll start speaking his tribal language with you.
No español. I'm sorry, maybe. Well,
yeah, wrong.
Okay.
Wrong continent.
He'll be back. His thing just a little off. He's just gonna check.
Was he not Hispanic? Was I being racist?
Nah, you good,
dude.
You good, bro. You good.
He's a chief in New Zealand.
So
lit. You're way off.
That's lit.
Let's see if we can get him back. What's up, man?
Check.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Oi, mate. G'day.
Oh, g'day, mate. Wrong country, but place.
That's why I like it.
I'm a New Zealand, mate.
You guys say good day too, don't you?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you say yeah, no. You say yeah, no, but you don't say good day.
You say yeah, no, brother. You know how they do it? They steal all our shit, including the saying.
So what we're doing right now is we're trying to plan out a reality TV show to happen in the suburbs of LA, Los Angeles, California. Right now we have a Hexican who's saying like, hey, I've got a house that y'all can rent from me. And I'm just trying to like, and then a few people have said, hey, I can work on this. And then a few people said, hey, I can participate in this. So we're trying to get the people who want to participate to come forward, and let's start getting some solid plans here. So as of right now, our date that could change is set for February 22nd of this coming year. And then that way we can cram the production into a time period that hopefully could be out by summer. But the idea is that the people who would raise their hand and say, hey, I want to be a part of this, are people who are very nomadic, very up in the air schedule. They're able to, leave for 2 to 3 weeks. We want to take 2 weeks of their time, 14 days. And then, so right now we're just exchanging ideas of, okay, what would this look like? And I think I did a pretty good job about it. I mean, I think Dolo got a little excited, and a few people in chat did too. Yeah. And I'm not trying to give away like, let's see, I'm not trying to make it to where people can like pre-study. Instead, it's like, okay, we all understand the game rules, so that some of us aren't caught off guard and like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like me and my niece, whenever we were playing Monopoly last, like she understood more of the rules than I did, and I was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, what like one of the main goals of the show, I would think, one of the things that needs to go is get the word out there. You know, so like I said, I think a lot of things are gonna should be focused on how could we, here's a situation, all right, when we film this, is it going to be hilarious? Will this, you know, if we clip it, we'll get likes and stuff like this, with a mix of learning stuff and, you know, reading my popcorn reading sci-fi. But then somebody, you know, if cake gets thrown at somebody, I don't know. Yeah.
I think what could happen is there's a time period in the morning and in the afternoon where somebody has to go to the diary room, and that's where you're one-on-one with the camera and you're just talking about like what has progressed in the day. And then we take that footage and we overlap it with the actual actions happening out in the field, where, you know, I'm like, and then Tommy did this. And then we show, you know, whatever Tommy threw the cake in his face or whatever. So I think there can be that play back and forth.
Okay, and I like that.
And I think that we can have a serious side of this, and we can have a very, very playful side that is scripted. So we can have it to where you go out into the field, you make your transaction with a resident or a commercial person, and the film crew catches up to you and they start filming, and you're like, okay, let's rerun what we just did. Let's fake it all. I guess that's probably what they do over at the pawn shop, you know, whatever that big reality TV show, the pawn shop.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, we already did this transaction. We already know what we're all going to say, but will you say that again for me? I think a lot of those situations will happen where we'll volley it up for the set and the spike. And that's up to the film crew to be like over the top, saying, okay, I know that I captured this piece. I need to now go and capture this other piece in order to tie them all together a month later, whenever it is that I'm actually opening up these things and looking at them. Okay. Now, I'm not like we have talked about what can be done with the live streams. Like, as this stuff's going live, how can people interact? Where can we show it? How can they donate to each people or the project in the whole? How could they be responsive in making some of the decisions? Like, how can we have it to where it reads out chat as chat's doing it, to where like then once they interact with chat, then there's this a whole nother hilarious dynamic that could happen. Just like who is it? Gina over here in the chat with the flagpole greased up idea with the Trezor at the top. That's freaking hilarious.
And then what's funny, at the end you'll find out that, wait, I can't use any of it. Yeah, here's a lesson on how secure a Trezor is. You don't know the password to get in it, so you can't even get the money.
You can't even get it. Yeah. You can't even get into the funds. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of my thoughts at the moment, and I just wanted to brush up a little bit more while we had Mischief.
Hey, I've got a question about it. Are you limiting it to only America? Location being in America?
I think we'll get the most participants here in the States. I ran a poll last week, and asked people, would you be interested in meeting in a small town in the West area, or the middle of the country area, or suburban area that's outside of LA? And eventually the poll came back with positive for the outside of LA. But the second in that poll was Cody, Wyoming, which is a small town outside of Yellowstone. And the idea there is that you're like really
in the boons, in the States.
You really dove into this community and you have to take care of them. You know, you can't just destroy you're making relationships. And then Mischief is showing us his tribal land.
He's like, come out here. It's nice over here.
It's so nice over there. So then another idea was,
and the problem is there's no people here.
No people.
Season two, New Zealand.
And so how would we have
his
a community?
backyard's the Lord of the Rings.
How would we have a crypto show with no people? You know, we have to have it to where it integrates somehow.
There's not no people. There's only like 200 people here, and they're all my cousins. So
yeah, all relatives. So like, I just keep saying that these ideas could be thrown out tomorrow. If anybody has good ideas of how we interact with other folks and gain eyes to cryptocurrency and make the thing exciting, please pop it into the chat. And if it is that I'm making things too hard by saying, hey, go place it here in this certain chat, you have to join the chat and go through the steps of software or whatever, send me a DM. At EcoBuilder on Twitter. What other things did I want to say? Oh, and then so Stillwater, Oklahoma, which is a college town. That's where Oklahoma State is. I thought that would be an all right place for this reality TV show. And it got low in the polls, and so did Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah. Now, the reason why I thought Iowa was cool was because Iowa was a place where I have never known of a Hexican living at. In all my time of collecting Hexican addresses in order to send out to folks these physical cards and stickers and magnets, no one from Iowa and 2 other states or 3 other states have ever said, send me something. So the other states, just to brush this up, are North Dakota.
I was going to say North Dakota. And
New Hampshire.
Oh, really?
And I think New Hampshire, because they're probably Bitcoin diehards, like, because New Hampshire is another one of those freedom state movements. Mm-hmm. And I think Bitcoin hit them like hard. Yeah. I think they are diehards for it. And then I think there's one other state that I just can't remember. But Iowa struck me as weird. And it's an area where like you could wear a suit or you could wear one of these costumes and survive. And I think Cody, you could barely survive with one of these costumes in that time period, late winter, early spring. And then so Des Moines, the idea there was like, well, I was looking at Airbnbs and rental properties and stuff, and there was a lot of inexpensive stuff around their university. So I think the whole town would be, I think it was a college town, or at least one that fluctuates. Mm-hmm. I think that Stillwater is so much more of a college town. Yeah. But Des Moines was just interesting to me because they had everything, and then they also had the rentable places. So it's not like a financial boom there.
It's still one of those places that's like, people are still like, it's still growing, basically. Like, yeah, I know what you mean.
And if I put us in a place where it's like a big city, like Sydney, Australia, or New York City, or something like that, like, what makes it to where I should really pay these huge prices for the rent and the food? Mm-hmm. And then also, what sort of impact are you going to have on your neighbors, and are you going to even be unique?
Exactly.
You might just be some people like popping out of an apartment where you're just a number. I'd rather you be out in a house somewhere to where like you're really making yourself known amongst people. So because I have done some ideas of like how is it that we onboard and what are the connections we make in a community. What do you think of Mischief?
Really, just listening to what you've been talking about for the last hour, and I'm pretty sure I've been here for the whole hour at least. But I'm liking the ideas that are coming out, and the ideas that they were popping, carrying to me with doing something like in a totally different country, of course, my country, and so my mind goes to my job where I'm teaching it to going to the kids and presenting them to. I'm hearing myself echoing in my bloody ear, and I can't keep track of my thoughts. Sorry.
You're good, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine myself participating in something like this, of course, and my immediate image that I get is going into the schools and gamifying these. Well, they're already gaming concepts. Man, this is a really cool thing. Far out, you just blew my mind here.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. There's so much. There's so much that we've talked about that, like, yeah, got your. Trust me, I'm on that same thing where my mind's still like on a scatterbrain, even though like trying to like get the thoughts, but then at the same time you have that other thought that can come in. That you got a concept that's already coming into that thought already. Yeah, trust me, I know.
So if I could go back to from where I came in right at the beginning, with even just the concept of reality TV is amazing. So with that, because I've got quite a bit of experience in the film industry. No, I'm not quite a bit. My contacts over here, and if I presented this to my because it sounds like you've really thought through this, Devin. So I wouldn't mind like an official written out proposal that I can actually hand them to some producers over here, and of course they're my cousins. So and this is something that will really go viral over here, and like and with a combination of all the different countries that are part of Hexaco.
So what I'm attempting to do is to get something started.
Yeah.
And then when everybody comes and raises their hand, then we can make selections of, okay, you earned this job, you earned that job. We get the ball rolling. We get it done on a low budget, a very harsh budget. And then we decide where this is going from here. And we could go and do a season 2, and different characters could be involved. We could have it in different places. It's just that this initial one, we need to create it, wrap it up, put it out there, and then we can make more decisions on how is this going to change in the future, who needs to change, how do we need to do things differently. Okay, it completely fell apart on this planning issue. We know that we can't do this exact same thing again, try something new. But the thing is that like we can't get stuck in inaction. We've got to make some decisions now, believe in those decisions, march it on down for another month, have a set plan by a month from now, have it all planned out, and go with it. And so, like, the person who, just one moment, the person who is the producer is going to have half of this entire creation in his hands and on his shoulders. So we're heavily relying on basically one person spending a quarter of their year on this project.
Absolutely. No, I get it. I get that. I guess I should ask, how far through the process are you with like the first meeting you've had about it? How many prior meetings have you had in regards to this concept?
Did you ask me a question?
Yeah. So yeah, I can't remember so how far down the process do you feel you are? Like, how many kind of brainstorms have you had with others?
So this is our first official sort of brainstorming, feel out situation here. What I've been doing is I've been tweeting out my ideas and creating polls in order to understand like what other people are thinking. Those are the people who actually see the poll. So I know that there's multiple people who are not seeing my tweets at all, that are, you know, I'm DMing them and asking them questions of, hey, what do you think this should look like? Because they don't want to be a person that's their name is on the line out there in front. You know, I'm still trying to make this more solid and make it to where people have trust and faith in this thing actually happening, because it's still just an idea. So this is the first time that we've had this little group meeting, but I've been attempting to get people into the Telegram chat to communicate with me, but there's a communication divide there, because it's like asking people to brainstorm and read a bit, and like, you know, maybe I put one little word there that changes my idea completely. So you know, it's really hard to keep up with
generating
ideas from text. So anyway,
I
think we should continue to have meetings like this, where the people that are raising their hand and saying, I want to be a participant, they stay in touch with us. They are a part of understanding how we're wanting to create material teasers to get more people involved in this, get more people to raise their hand and say, I'm interested in being in a reality TV show for crypto. And then also for the folks who are the planners, this is what this space definitely is for. We all need to get communication and get on the same page. And of course, Left House, we really want him to be a part of this conversation right now. And he's got family stuff going on right now because we're still experiencing Christmas.
Who was that, sorry?
Now, I will
say
that
there's a guy named Left House who really impressed me with his videography. And so I've been picking his brain for like, okay, how do we go about creating a budget for this? And that stuff's over in the Telegram. And it's going to be about, like, whenever I've been figuring out budget, about a third of it goes to prizes, about a third of it goes to housing and food, and about a third of it goes to the staff. What's up, Shane?
I was just gonna mention, this is it's not gonna be an easy undertaking. It's gonna be like a grind for 2 weeks straight of of running around, and like it's not gonna be like a leisurely thing, like probably for anybody. Because especially being our first time, like on a scale of as long as the first time you do anything retrospectively looking back, it always sucks compared to what you're doing then. So it's gonna be a grind. And like I almost think it's gonna be hard trying to figure it out in 2 weeks because it's kind of like a sprint. But because I don't know of any other shows that do that or work like that. Usually it's like a couple months and stuff like that. So I'm sure there'll be we'll definitely be learning a lot in this process.
We might have it to where like the little time period where you're supposed to be doing your diary room, speaking to the camera about your day. We might have you in there for just 6 minutes, and the producer is going to overhear something that you say, and they're going to be like, well, I didn't know you did that today. Could we go and like reshoot that? That interaction that you had with that person. So like we could manipulate the viewer's perspective on the final show. You're muted, Shane.
I was gonna say like a semi-scripted kind of thing, like to capture a moment or something.
So shout out to Georgia Carrera and to the Crypto Wonder as well. I'm communicating with both of those people in the backgrounds. They're giving me ideas. They're telling me their experiences. I think Crypto Wonder has the capability of like figuring out a nostalgia that we can run with. And then I think that Georgia Carrera has the business understanding that I think that she can assist with the things that are going on in that area. So like understanding the law documents that are necessary for a reality TV show. So contracts in California, because that's where she's located. Things like that.
Yeah, getting permits and stuff out there, especially if it's in California. Oh, it's easy. Like they're real quick.
They're media friendly.
Yeah, super media friendly. Like you'll have those papers within the day.
Heck yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think I think we should actually wrap this up. It's been 1 hour and 30. That makes it digestible for everybody, not too much at one time. Everybody here on this panel is able to leave with enough in your head to make decisions while you sleep. We were talking about dreams earlier.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah, facts.
Cool.
Luckily, I won't be having any tonight. But yeah, it was awesome talking to you guys and meeting you, Dolo. I'll give you a follow on Twitter.
For sure. Same, brother. Same. If I don't already follow, I'm pretty sure I do.
What's your at? What's your handle?
It's RX. It's RX_Dolo.
Alrighty, we'll find it. Cool, man.
Yes,
well, thank you for bringing us on, Eco.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, you guys. So this is over.
Shane. Dave.
You as well, sir.
Mr.
Nice to meet you.
Have a beautiful day.
Yes,
oh,
you
gosh,
too,
look
bro.
at that place.
Look at that view, bro.
I think that's the bay right there.
You're living in Mexico, brother. You're living in Mexico. I'm letting you know that.
Yeah.
This guy is. He's got tribal rights to that land. He's the bloodline that we wish we had.
I did absolutely nothing for it. I did nothing to get the Muslim.
It's all good, but the ancestors did the work.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, brother.
Um,
Anyway, Peace.
Okay, later.
Right.
Thanks for
Peace
coming
out,
on.
man. Appreciate it.
And hey, spread the word, please.
Always.
J Soul in the chat is saying locations. Yeah, so we're thinking about LA, suburban LA. And then he's also saying that each person must grant permission in writing. Totally. We're gonna have to have it to where like the typical
We need waivers
contract for reality TV, and then we'll have to safeguard the house somehow.
Yep.
And I figure that the same lawyer and the same assistant is able to follow through with all those things.
Should be very
also
quick.
Just for
I was gonna say should be very quick and easy, especially out there.
Yeah, I like hearing that.
And also for also just to add a little more crypto to it, for whatever contracts, just for fun, we could have the user that has their wallet, whatever they agreed to docs, sign it on the blockchain or something. Say, write it on the blockchain. Say timestamp blah 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 this show. I don't know, just an idea.
Yeah, like an NFT.
Yeah, I think we'll have to have it to where maybe the people, like whenever they arrive on location, your introduction will be creating a wallet.
Yep.
And then that way we know the donation address for all of them. And we can have it to where like people who want to sponsor them and just send them money, so be it. But the show creators will be able to put the allowances into their wallets. Well, maybe we do need to keep it secret so that we keep it more fair. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Because if you put more in their wallet, then they have more purchasing power out there in the field. So they could say like, hey, I'll buy this pack of gum for $100, and then who would actually resist that? Of course, they're going to make a trade.
Yeah. Well, isn't that life though? Life is unfair. So if you're more likable, that's kind of what happens in life. People give you money. I don't know.
Well, I agree with that. However, I don't want people from like your hometown, like if you tell some people like, hey, in a few days, send me this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
All right, brother.
Cool.
Thanks for meeting.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
We'll talk very soon, and be loud about this because the louder, the earlier, the better. And thanks, everybody. Give a like, comment, subscribe, please.
Yes, 100%. Everybody like, comment, subscribe, share it.
Melting faces. Later, guys.
All right. Peace.
Peace.